What's good? So this video is a couple of, well, just over a month too late, but it's going to be a sort of summary video of just finishing off the entire Poland series. Obviously, as you can see behind me, I'm back in my university, back in the UK, so yeah, there are a few issues with laptop and phone and videos becoming corrupt and stuff, so you're going to see a montage of videos and stuff which got kept. But yeah, overall, really good experience. Glad I went. Reminds me, still got to write that report, but he knows that I've been waiting on stuff, so yeah, it should be good. Yeah, as I said, I'm going to try and keep me just talking to basically just this little introduction, and other than that, it's just going to be a montage of videos and photos of my route home and some of my favourite little clips or parts from the rest of my time sort of out there, the other videos I've done. So I hope you enjoy that, and as I say, sorry that this video is about a month or two late, but it rounds off quite well. So as I say later, thank you for, if you enjoy these videos, thank you. If you want to see more, let me know. If you don't, that's cool too. Anyway, in a bit. Right, it's 9:30, no, sorry, 10:30, but I've got a feeling they want me out of the room by 11, because they've got people coming in, moving in today. So, what we're going to do is, despite the fact my flight isn't till 3, well, 20 past 3, we're going to leave, make our way to near the airport and investigate, as I say, near the airport, see if I can get some last minute shopping done or something. But so yeah, should be a long day. But anyway, don't know why I'm pacing. This is giving you a brief little quick tour of my room. Ready? Door. 3 sets of wardrobes. That one was mine. I think that one's got a chair in it. We have the bunk beds. No, sorry, bunk beds plus my desk and my bed. There's also sort of a little desky thing. Shelves, obviously, everywhere. It's really weird. I'm looking at there, but pointing over there. The fridge, I only ever kept ham and cheese in there. Freezer, never use that, because when you have any cooking facilities, there's no point using the freezer. And then the little sort of, I guess it's the kitchen-y bit for in the room, worktop space. Some people have got a sink there, but I don't. I've just got a little table, so that's like. But then it helps someone to put in the rubbish bag. So, and then of course my suitcase and my backpack. So yeah, we're now gonna head off, so catch you in a bit. Why is it so hot on the weekends? Too hot, you people. I'm so bored. Been here since, I think, 11:30 in the end. Gotta wait till 1 o'clock, 20 past 1, till I can check in. Enjoy! They feel like I'm not superstitious. Gate 13, seat 13. Just wouldn't be anything dedicated to Chopin if they didn't have a piano. Journeys together. I've got my phrase book, jumped on a bus, and ta-da! Little fancy fobs we gotta get in, put my name on and everything. Code didn't really work, did work, and didn't work. Không được nói cái từ đấy. Look familiar? Here again. Come on. Officially over halfway through my time out here in Poland, finally started using Pluto. Grilled pork neck. Pigeon just flew into you. Hi guy, Copernicus. Check out these guns. No, not them ones. Them ones. The Chopin Museum was try and get to the Neon Museum. And still 30 degrees. It's just way too hot. This cost less than this. And that ends my Polish adventure. Back in England now, Luton, waiting for the family to come pick me up. This has been an open day, so waiting for them to come in, to come collect me from, as I say, Luton Airport. It's definitely colder and darker here, so keeping the sunglasses on because I am that sort of idiot. Hey. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this little series. Let me know if you want me to do anything like this again. But anyway, if you don't, goodbye, and if you do, peace out. What's good, guys? Some of you may be intrigued as to why I'm here. Like, I'm not here out on holiday, unfortunately. I've actually been here on a sort of summer project, internship sort of thing. And I'm now going to give you a little breakdown of week by week what I've been up to, what I've been spending my time doing. So, been here, this will be the 5th week, and each week we've had a different sort of task to do. So the first week was spent a lot of doing self-reading, self-learning, so we had to read stuff like theses and stuff online, including like Bryn's PhD thesis, to study neutron stars and gravitational waves and just to get a feel for what was going on. And then from then we had to write a little code in C to solve the Lane-Emden equations. That was a bit of a pain to do because the first week involved learning the Linux syntax, the how to use bash, which is the Linux command prompt or the command line, how to program in C, and of course how to solve these equations. And also that Friday we had a meeting with the team where we had to produce a question. My question was, what causes neutron stars to emit these gravitational waves? Led to about half hour of discussion by the experts, so it's a good question. The second week was building upon the coding again to write a sort of code to solve the relativistic Tolman-Oppenheimer-Volkov equations, the TOV equations, which involve relativity, so are a bit more complicated. So to do that, I had to learn how to solve differential equations using Euler's method or the RK4 method. I had to learn about the relativistic units, C equals G equals 1, which makes everything more complicated. With that, I had to learn dimensional analyses and how to use them to see what units you need. And I also had to learn about hydrostatic equilibria, which are something I still don't quite understand. But I know that we were trying to balance, in our case for the neutron star, to get a neutron star that's just sat there, we were trying to balance the force of gravity with the pressure from inside, so that's what it means by hydrostatic equilibria. Third week, was a bit more reading. This time it was on magnetohydrodynamics, or magnetohydrostatic equilibrium, which is pretty much the same, but it involves in a magnetic field, so it makes it more complicated. We were also reading a thesis by this girl called Emily, who did this project last year. She carried it on, and we're carrying on her work. This is also when we started using the cluster, so we had to access it using SSH commands, and then run basic codes involving running scripts and stuff on there. We also had to produce a stable star configuration. Initially we tried creating these files ourselves, however we very quickly ended up using data sent to us by my supervisor Brent. And then once we got these configurations, we also had to install Visit to obtain three-dimensional images of the density profile for the stable neutron star. It took me a few attempts to get this down, because in one dimension and 3 dimensions you get nothing, and 3 dimensions would give you this sort of triangular shape, which was all wrong. But after playing around with a few things in the, I think it's the Pluto.ini file, and then once we got these stable images, we had to both increase and decrease the gravitational potential, and in doing so you see the star collapse and evaporate, respectively, I guess. The fourth week, so last week, we were starting to use Pluto a lot more. We were trying to run it on the cluster, so that was basically the same as running stuff in the background, so you could still use the command prompt. We also had to involve MHD components, which are these magnetohydrodynamics. With Pluto, you're given three main files. One's a definitions.h, which is where you'll specify various things to make the file itself. Another one is Pluto.ini, which contains the initial conditions for what you're actually trying to do. And the final one is init.c, which contains the boundary conditions. It contains various things which are involved in trying to actually get the code to run and to do its thing. So your main equations go into that file. Foil? Yeah, that foil. So yeah, after we inserted the MHD components into the init.c and Pluto source files, we had to run these for a while, and then use Visit to obtain vector and streamline plots of the VTK file data output. This was a bit hard because streamlines are very, very picky. You have to be extremely detailed on how you define stuff and how you set these things up. But because of this, initial attempts were futile until we added in a couple of lines to the definitions.h file, which set the data output to just dump everything in vector form, so it was a lot easier to get these vector plots. And as such, the streamline plots as well. Also, I think last Thursday, we had to give a short presentation to, I think it was Bryn Mikal, who was a guy on Bryn's team, and 2 PhD students, Magdalena and Farada. And this presentation, we were describing what we've done so far and any issues we've had with stuff. So in my case, it was explaining why I felt that every single step or stage was an issue, why I had issue with everything, why it was all a struggle. So yeah, that was I think that was quite an interesting or a good thing to do was to have this little chat, because I could then get across that whilst I don't have much to show for it, I have actually been doing stuff. I've been fighting with this stuff and trying to get it to work myself. So yeah, I finished off last week with actually obtaining the correct vector plots and streamlines, so can't argue with that. And finally this week, we've had our tasks separated out. So I'm playing around with these poloidal magnetic fields. I started off by increasing the maximum radius to see what happens outside the star. So initially we had a maximum radius of 1.2 kilometers, of 12 kilometers, sorry, which allows for the 10 kilometers of the star and then 2 extra for what's going on outside. I increased that to 20 kilometers, so we've got a much greater field of view, I guess you could say. And yeah, this was all part of my final task, which is to get a larger grid and try to make these simulations run with outflow boundary conditions, which I won't get into then. So yeah, this involves creating, I think I'm up to my 15th version of this, just changing various boundary conditions in the Pluto.ini file, and then just running them for as long as I can to see what happens. These are very long runs. I think I had one run for like 24 hours or 42 hours or just very long amount of time. And in the majority of cases, the density went negative, which will cause the program to break. Others, DT went too small, the time step went too small, so again, caused the code to break. But I have a couple running at the moment they're running in parallel, which means they use various nodes of the cluster to do what they need to do their job. At the moment they're still running, and I've got to, when I left I was up to about 2 or 3 milliseconds, so I'm getting up to the timescale I need. So hopefully get in tomorrow and they'll be able to have a look at the data outputs and see what's going on. So yeah, that's basically what I've been doing. I've just been playing around with these things all week. That's a quick little summary of my entire time out here. I enjoyed this video. I know it may have been a bit sort of to some people because it's a very physics-based one and short. I'm realising that unedited this is at least 11 minutes. Anyway, I'm out.